Hello and welcome to another video from Mr. Miz Nation, and we are here for episode 10 of the F1 2013 career mode in a Sauber on a difficulty that I just keep on changing. Basically, this is what's happening now. Basically what I'm doing is legendary for qualifying, expert for the race, unless I get a better drive, which is potentially could happen if I get another good result here, because I've been stacking them up now, these good results. But that's what's going to happen for the moment. So I did qualify on expert and I managed 8s, which isn't too bad. Kind of seem to be qualifying in similar places now, kind of in and around kind of the latter half of the top 10. But yeah, I just seem to lose a second in the race every time. So I mean, I think turn it down to expert could kind of reduce that deficit and maybe make it a bit more close in the race and maybe a bit more action-packed. As you can see, 77% chance of rain. The tyre wear around here is horrid, so it's going to make it very interesting on the tyres and everything about what the hell we're going to do here, because, I mean, it could rain at any time, and I'm expecting it to rain as well. In terms of qualifying as well, Jenson Button was a faller in the first round of qualifying, which seems to be a reoccurring theme. He's a usual fallers or a complete surprise in 17th, and it was Button this time. Fernando Alonso on pole, continuing his great form after that win in Germany, with the two Germans behind him of Rosberg and Vettel, and then the usual suspects of Hamilton, Webber and Massa behind. But that's enough talking for now. I've already done 2 minutes of talking. It's time to go out on track, and this could potentially be one of the best races of the season, because all the variables are there. Tyre wear, an AI that might not be quite as difficult to beat, and rain in the air potentially. It looks very dry at the moment, but you've got to remember that this is 18 laps, I believe, on a 25% race, and I mean, it is a relatively short lap, but it's not like a Monaco short lap, if you know what I mean. I mean, it is quite a long race when you put everything into perspective, especially with a tyre wear as well, so the rain could come thick and fast here if it's going to come at all. We're going to have to see how this goes, but the tyre wear is hard around here. We're getting ready for the 5 lights to go out now, and we are go. We've actually got a half decent start. I usually say that and then get mugged off the line, and it's exactly what's happened this time, because Hulkenberg has stormed through my teammate, already past Raikkonen as well, the man who qualified a 10th behind me, but we're up round the outside here as we get a bit of wheel spin, and we're up to 6 now. We've taken Vettel, who's got another horrid start. So Vettel, from I believe 3rd on the grid, has fell down to 8th. We're up to 5th now. We took Webber clean around the outside there. That was a nice move. So Alonso still leads. Massa is up to 4th now. Hamilton's got a great start. Well, that's not usual. He usually gets a terrible start. But look at this. We're sticking onto the back of these guys already. I mean, this Sauber has turned into a car that could potentially challenge. I mean, in Q2 I was only 4/10 off the quickest runners on legendary. So I mean, I don't really know if I like this track or not really. Sometimes I have great results, sometimes I have bad results, but I guess we'll see what's going to happen in this one as this is a corner that I hate. I just need to run wide and get a lot of I just need to get stuck in the dirty air behind the cars, as we've lost a bit of time there in the middle sector. I do remember from my co-op the AI being incredibly fast in this middle sector. That seems to be the case in a lot of races. It seems to be kind of similar to Catalunya, where you got a relatively narrow track with not many overtaking opportunities. And then, oh hello, I believe that was rain in 5 minutes, unless I'm going mad. Any other 5-minute thing I couldn't see coming, so that's gonna well, I mean, it couldn't have been anything else if it was saying 5 minutes. So the sky is really blue at the moment, and there's clouds out, there's puffy clouds, and it's all happy and unicorns here, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it quickly changes here. I mean, we've had only one raining race so far this season in Canada, which almost went dry at the end. We've yet to even go on the full wets in a race yet. The only time I've ever been on the full wets in this season has been in the Malaysia qualifying, where I struggled immensely. The AI are bloody quick on those wet tyres, but It's nice to see we're sticking with Felipe Massa here. We've kind of dropped Webber a bit, who's dropped Hulkenberg quite nicely, but we are right on the back. Well, not right on the back of Massa, but it's not like they're running away. This might just be the right difficulty now. I think things might get complicated if I go up to a better team. So, I mean, it is this kind of time when the contract offers start coming in. So, I mean, this could be a one-hit wonder kind of deal, really, with me going down to legendary again, like, or not legendary, expert, like I did for Monaco. But there wasn't really many overtaken opportunities there, and the tyre wear was horrid. But I guess it's kind of the same as this. Hungary is kind of like Monaco was out. Barriers really close to you, and I mean, I kind of call it the forgotten track because everyone forgets about it until it arrives, and it's kind of the last race before the break. So I mean, you kind of forget about it, and it's just a forgettable race, really. After you kind of have the big crowds at Silverstone and the Nürburgring / Hockenheim. But we are really sticking onto the back of these guys now. It's not really like they're getting away, but I really can't make the move at the moment. It's very difficult. But Massa is our sworn rival in the championship at the moment. He's the guy that's ahead of us. I believe it's like 12 points, maybe more. Actually, I think it is more, like 20 points. But I mean, Massa got a strong result in the last race, and if we can beat it, oh my god, those tyres don't look good. Oh no, these tyres look horrific. But I mean, 5 minutes was like lap 1, I believe, I think it was right at the start of lap 2 that he said about 5 minutes. I remember crossing the line. So I mean, theoretically, that's about lap 6 or 7 when the tyres are really going to start going off. So there's quite the dilemma here about what you're going to do on tyres with this rain coming in. And I mean, I'm sticking onto the back of these guys now, but I may fall dramatically off as the tyres wear because the Ally don't quite feel the tyre wear as much as I do. Looks like Hulkenberg's the sail that's holding everyone up in this race at the moment, because he seems to be holding up a lot of people there. Obviously Vettel hasn't quite been able to get past him, and that's probably caused a load of problems. But I do wonder if 5th is going to start becoming the new 8th place, because I finished there twice now. I finished obviously there in Australia and then the last race as well, and if I finish there again, then it'll be my joint most normal finish with 8th place. So I seem to be becoming Fernando Alonso all of a sudden with so many 5th places. I believe in the Chinese Grand Prix qualifying, Alonso managed to be the man to qualify in 5th place the most. So I believe he's qualified there 31 times, which is pretty amazing, really. We just can't. We're right behind. We're not really right behind Massa. We're not exactly miles behind him. I mean, we're pretty much on pace as him here. We just can't really get past him. He's just kind of holding that respectable gap, but he's just getting DRS off everyone else. And I mean, oh hello, did I just see rain there? I think I did. The skies are going a lot more darker now, but Alonso's trying to romp off into the distance, but he hasn't really got a major lead at the moment. It's only a few seconds, really, the lead he has. As these tyres are already looking horrid, and I mean, this is going to be interesting, because they are a lot quicker in the wet, the AI, and I think I'll struggle to hold on to 5th place, potentially. But I mean, was this legendary, I keep saying legendary, was this expert AI difficulty? I mean, anything could happen. I don't really know what's going to happen in the wet. Anything could happen with the tyre changes as well. The main benefit that I'll have is the fact that the two Mercedes are racing each other up there, and Alonso and Massa aren't exactly split, and these are the Red Bulls, so I've got a perfect... yeah, I know it's raining, race engineer. Yeah, it's amazing that they've actually got that on time as well. It's usually like 500 minutes after the flipping session, the rain actually starts coming down, but not this time, and we might actually be out of DRS now with Massa. We're still pulling away from Webber though. Hulkenberg still seems to be holding the rest of the points runners up. We're really starting to struggle on these tyres now, but I have a feeling if I don't go to lap 8, they may just be able to go on intermediates and completely trump me here. But we are losing quite a bit of time now to Massa. We're almost out, well, we are out of DRS, and that's not going to help me at all in this battle. Webber's also closing on us quite a bit as well there. I'm trying the low minute 24s, but it's quite difficult when you've got battered tyres. But I really need this rain to come down a lot harder at the moment, because, I mean, I'm going to really struggle to get to lap 8 here looking at these tyres. I mean, look at the front left there. In fact, just look at all the tyres. I mean, it is spitting quite hard now. But we are losing even more time, and I mean, if I don't pit on the right lap as well, I'm going to seriously be struggling on these tyres. I mean, the worst possible scenario I find in any race is being on worn tyres, just completely red, whilst you're driving out on the wrong tyres in the wet conditions, and we almost suffer the problems there, but we're just sort of an insane amount of time there to Felipe Massa. We're really struggling with understeer now through that section. And I mean, I reckon it could potentially be intermediates next lap, but look at these tyres now, man. This is like Catalunya all over again. It basically is like Catalunya all over again. The threat of rain, oh my lord. I was so tempted to go into the pits there, but I think I'm going to stay out, which might be a bad move, because look at how much I'm struggling now. This is ridiculous. I've basically lost everything to Felipe Massa there. Webber's pretty much on my tail now. Luckily, there's a massive gap to Hulkenberg as the free and front battle, but I can only imagine how much I'd be struggling if it was on Legendary at the moment. Which is why I'm starting to think that Expert might be the right difficulty for the race, at least. But I mean, we've got to try and just keep ahead of Webber and make sure that train behind Hulkenberg doesn't catch up, but that might be quite difficult at this rate, because I'm not going to be able to make this go another lap. I'm thinking of coming in for intermediates at the end of this, because I'm really struggling. And the rain's just come at the worst possible time for me. I was kind of hoping it would come kind of around lap 12, 14, so I'd kind of be able to like perfect a 2-stop whilst and kind of undercut the AI. It's not really happened in this race. I'm going to struggle breaking down into here. I once binned it in the lead in a league race before as well, in that chicane on one tyres. I'm starting to think it could go to intermediates, but I'm going to have to pit either way, and I might as well put intermediates on, so this may ruin my race, but it's already getting ruined at the moment. Oh my lord. Oh no! That's me into the wall. And, well, this race is starting to go a bit pear-shaped here, as we're down to 10ths now. Oh, God. Well, welcome to Hungary. This has not been the funnest of races. I think I'm coming into the pits to put intermediates on here. And, I mean, if the intermediates don't work... Oh, hello, someone's pitting up there. I believe that's Kimi Räikkönen. I do wonder if he's going to gamble and put the intermediates on. This is shades of Harrison 101, I have to say. I literally just watched his Hungary video for tips, and I've absolutely not learnt from his mistakes. Right, these intermediates better work, otherwise my race is screwed. Really. We're getting a new front wing, we're down to 14th. Van der Garden 15th, so obviously some people have had some issues. But yeah, I really need this to work, otherwise I'm just going to fall backwards. We've got a nice gap to Van der Garde, I think we're going to get ahead of him. I'm slightly worried that these intermediates aren't good enough yet. It doesn't quite look wet enough. We'll see. If these tyres start overheating and stuff, we may have a problem, but they don't seem to be at the moment. DRS is disabled, so that's a good sign. We don't really seem to be struggling on these tyres. Uh-oh, there's a bit of overheating on the rears at the moment, but it's only going to get wetter, you would think. I'm slightly worried that this is going to... I mean, they're going to be pitting this lap, so I may really be screwed here. Oh, no. I've made a wrong call here. I might have come in a lap too early, potentially. I mean, they're not too bad. I'm still keeping a respectable gap to Van der Garde. But, I mean, if you look at these tyres now, the rears... The fronts are not too bad, but the rears are going off horribly and overheating. But I mean, if they pit on this lap and they don't put intermediates on, I might still have an advantage of not having to do that pit stop. With the amount of time I lost to Massa, it might not matter. This is going to be a fight here. This could go down to the wire here. It'll be interesting to see where we come out here. I mean, look at these. It is raining harder, definitely. And I mean, oh hello, they're warming. They're getting a bit better now, actually. So it'll be interesting to see what tyres are out on. There is hello, they're out on not intermediates, and they're out on the dry tyres still. So that could be a major factor. I've just got to make sure I don't lose a lot of time in this stint now. I mean, I really couldn't do anything else other than put the intermediates on, but it really isn't intermediates yet. Well, in Codemaster's mind it isn't intermediates anyway. The front left is all of a sudden really overheating, whilst the other tyres are fine, so it's pretty weird at the moment. So we're now down to 12th, which is a bit disappointing, but I mean, if they all pit, we're going to gain a lot of positions back, so this is only going to help me. I think the spray is starting to come up now in the middle sector, so I'm starting to think this is a right move, potentially. The question is, will it go to wets as well here? I doubt it, but who knows. The other problem I'm going to have is if they pit, I mean, I pitted on what, lap 6, or 7, I think it was. So, I mean, when they pit for intermediates, their tyres are going to be a lot better at the end of the race, and I may have to pit again. Oh, hello, I think they're pitting. Yes, they are. I think the intermediates are starting to come into their own now, and we're just getting a bit of time on Hulkenberg there. So, some people have stayed out, some people are pitting. I'm pretty sure they're pitting for intermediates. So, we've got split strategies here, so this is quite interesting. Usually you just see the AI piling into the pits. It might be because of they don't want to hold each other up here, but we're going to get back into the points here by the looks of it, up to 9th, I believe, I think. So a lot of cars could lose out here. I'm pretty sure they're going on intermediates unless they're on primes at the start. So we're now up to 9th, yes. Hulkenberg's now behind a train, actually. But what are these tyres like in terms of overheating? They're still... The front left's still a bit bad, but I mean, it's looking more promising at the moment, to say the least. I really do need it to come down harder here now, though, to really punish the people that haven't pitted. I mean, it's coming down a bit harder now. The only problem is the AI might be a bit quicker on intermediates, as I maybe struggle around a bit. I mean, you can start seeing puddles forming there, and I think it's going to be very difficult for cars on dry tyres now. I may have pitted a bit too early, but I mean, I think it was a right call all in all, otherwise I was just going to lose out majorly, as we really are closing Hulkenberg now.
You currently have a 3-second gap between you
3-second gap to De Resta. I think he might still be out on the dries as well, actually, De Resta. So the question is, where are we going to go up to here? I think it's going to be close with quite a lot of these cars. Oh, a bit of wheel spin there. We're going to come out somewhere in the middle of kind of 6th or 7th, I think. Here, who's that coming out the pits up there? That is a Red Bull, I think, or is that a Ferrari? That's a Ferrari. So it looks like we might be rejoining behind Massa here. Yes, we're up to 4th. So Hamilton's 5th now. So he's well, what's happened to Hamilton there? Actually, Hamilton must have had some kind of off, because he was in front before. So Hamilton must have had some kind of off when he was on the dry tyres, as it definitely is intermediates now. But where the hell are the front two? They've absolutely gone into the distance. So Alonso and Rosberg once again having very good races, but Hamilton suffering a bit, and Vettel is. I don't know where Vettel's now is in this race either. As we're trying to push like hell to catch Massa up here, but it might be difficult to keep Lewis Hamilton behind as well. Oof, over the curb. I'm not liking the look of these tyres already, though. Oh, really going through there hard. But it's going to be difficult to catch Massa up here now. I mean, if I didn't have those problems at the start of the race, I'd probably be ahead of Massa, which is a bit... Well, not at the start of the race, but you know, I mean, when I was struggling on my tyres. So, if I hadn't had those problems, I'd probably be fighting for 2nd at this rate. So, that's a bit disappointing. But at least we're relatively comfortable in 4th at the moment. I'm still worried about these tyres going off horrifically though, and Hamilton's looking racy as well behind. We may go to full wets here as I lock up horrifically through there. I wouldn't bet against going to full wets, considering it was 77% chance of rain. It really is coming down though. It's all on the screen. So that could maybe potentially help me get my 2nd podium of the season, but oof, that could have been a bad moment. Getting on those curbs is not a good idea. I do have +1 lap of fuel to use. It's just, it's not the best idea to reuse it in the wet, to be honest, otherwise I'll probably spin. Hamilton is looking feisty at the moment, to say the least. He wants to get ahead of me. He wants to be winning the championship battles. And speaking of championship battles, I really do need to get ahead of Felipe Massa, but that's not happening if I drive like that going on the grass, as Hamilton is now right behind me. He won't have DRS though, so he's going to have to go through the hard way. Again, understeer through that corner, it's horrid. Looks like there's a back marker up there then. We don't usually get back markers in these 25% races, but probably Max Chilton probably put on the wrong tyres or something. Actually, there's two up there, so struggling. Some people are struggling really in this race by the looks of it. And I mean, Van der Garde being in 15th probably backs it up. As I lost a severe amount of time on this lap, because Hamilton is really pressuring us now. And as I said, 5th may be becoming my new best finishing place, because he really is pressuring me now. As I seem to constantly be locking up into that first corner at the moment. And it's not going to help my tyres either in the state that they're in at the moment. I think Webber's in 6th, so he could be a problem towards the end of the race as well. And Vettel as well. Actually, it might be Vettel in 6th, actually. I need to stop running wide at that corner, otherwise I'm going to end up bending it into the wall at some point. But really, looking at these tyres, I need it to go to wets, really. But I don't really know if it will do. I mean, it is raining relatively hard, but I don't think it's raining hard enough to go to wets at the moment. But the way my tyres are going, they really don't look like they're going to last till lap 18, and it's not really much of a surprise. 11 laps on the intermediates in a 25% race is a bit of a suicidal move, really, to be honest. As we power around there. Yeah, Massa's gapped us quite nicely there. Clip the apex nicely there, but Hamilton's still right behind, and whoever's in 6th is catching quite a bit, I think, as well. But yeah, I'm just trying to imagine what this would be like on Legendary, because I'll probably be holding up a bunch of cars at the moment. Same as the start of the race, really. I was just seem to be kind of in those low 27 regions. I think kind of Massa's in the high 26s, kind of mid 26s as well. Hamilton's probably in the low 26s at this rate. Oh man, we got a lot of oversteer out of that corner, but it just isn't going to wets at the moment, and that's what I need it to do. Unless Massa makes a mistake in front, it doesn't look like we're going to get a podium here. But I mean, we're keeping pace with him relatively well. I mean, he's gaining a couple of tenths on us each lap, really, or each sector, I guess, at some points. But Hamilton's really the problem here. Oh god, that's a problem as well. I seem to constantly get on the grass out of there. The curve just kind of spits me off. Speaking of curves spitting me off, oh, the curves are pretty lethal around here. Not quite as bad as tracks like Abu Dhabi, but it's still pretty bad. We've lost time again to Massa there, who just seems to be getting into a bit of a groove now. But back markers could maybe shake it up now. We haven't really had many of them in the races, but they do cause a lot of problems for drivers usually. Oh god, that's a major mistake out of there as well. Put the power on pretty early around there. I mean, the tyres, got 4 more laps on these. The front left once again looks a bit dodgy. As Massa's coming up to the back of that back marker now, I think he's actually going to get DRS off it. Oh god, another lock up into that corner. Really not going well around there, and look at that, that Red Bull is inching ever closer as I speak. So holding on to 4th place in these last few laps, considering what happened last time. I was struggling with tyres at the start of this race. It's going to be difficult to hold this. We hit that relatively nicely though. We've got a bit of breathing room on Hamilton. The lucky thing is I just don't have DRS, which is going to help me nicely. But once again, it looks like it's not going to go to the full wets in this race. Unless it goes to them right at the end, like it did in one of my Canada co-op races, where I mugged off 2 of the AI and took them at the end, I think. Or actually, no, it might have been dry tyres, I'm not even sure. But yeah, that Red Bull is right on the back of us now. I'm pretty sure it's Webber, but it may be Vettel. It needs to be Vettel, really, for his championship cause, because he's been relatively dominant in the championship, to be honest. But I mean, he's really tailed off in the last few races. Uh-oh, that's a major lock up into there. I'm really struggling with that corner in the first corner at the moment, as there's that back marker up there. Another bit of wheel spin through there. This is torture at the moment. 28 dead, that's not good. I just think they just don't seem to be getting tyre wear, the AI. Oh god, another lock-up. Another major lock-up through there, and somehow we're hitting the marbles in the rain. Oh, Hamilton was having a look. Actually, it is Vettel, and Vettel has gone up the inside of Hamilton there, and that's crucial for the championship. I mean, despite Alonso really coming back into the fray with possibly another win here, Lewis Hamilton really needs to beat Vettel in this race, and now he's behind him. So, despite Vettel's poor start, Hamilton has fell behind, probably because he also went off at the start of the race. That could have been a catastrophe there, getting on the curb. Finally, we're coming up to a back marker. I believe this is the first time I'll lap a car. And I think it might be two cars, actually. Is that a Williams I see up there? I think it might have been. Oh no, these tyres have gone completely off there. Oh no, this is going to be... Look at those tyres now. This is going to be scary, to say the least. I don't expect to hold on to 4th place here. I mean, I always knew this was going to be tough with this tyre wear, but this might be beyond my limits here. I wouldn't be surprised if I stuck it in the wall. The back markers might help me here a bit, actually. Oh, major wheel spin there. But yeah, I think Legendary around here would have been a difficult one, to say the least. I mean, I think I would have a train of about 10 cars behind me at this point if it was on Legendary. Because I just don't have the pace on these tyres now. I think the fact that I just pitted early and also had overheating has really cost me here. If I pitted around the same time as them, I'll be fine here. But just a shame. I mean, I had to pit early and put those intermediates on early because otherwise I was just going to probably end up out the points or having to... Well, I wouldn't have been in 4th, let's just say that, because I mean I fell down to about... Well, out the points. Van der Gar's not moved out of the way nicely there at all. Somehow Vettel got him through there. Looks like he's held up Hamilton quite badly though. I don't think Hamilton's even got past yet actually. I mean, it is a horrid track for back markers, this one. To be frankly honest, Hamilton's finally passed him by the looks of it. Oh, that was a major moment there. Thank God it hasn't gone to wets, because I think I'll be struggling even more. Although probably not quite as much as this. As oh, horrid understeer again through there. Oh, Vettel's having a look up the inside. Oh man, major. Oh, Hamilton's back up the inside there then, so Vettel must have had some kind of moment. So I'm kind of affecting the championship here once again, because Hamilton really is mugging off Vettel there. Oh god, this is going to be a major struggle on this last lap. Pretty much, at least 3 of those tyres are pretty much bone red now. Oh, Hamilton's having a look as well. We're going to go up to Rich, which is probably a bad idea. We're going to have a major lock up into here. We've held off Hamilton, and I believe that's Chilton up there that we're going to have to pass as well, if we'd even catch him. Uh-oh. Hamilton having a look here. He's going to go up the inside, I think. He's having a look up the inside. Shades of Germany, him trying to go up the inside of me. Oh, we're side by side. This is scary, but Hamilton's got me. Oh, well, that's frustrating. Now we're going to have to try and go for a move relatively soon here, and also avoid hitting him on these worn tyres. Oh, major moment, major moment. Oh, no.
Are you alright? Engine off, engine off.
All I can say about that is whoops. Oh, bollocks. I'm not going to use my flashback. That was just a stupid mistake. Do I use my flashback? This is a major moment. I'm not going to use my flashback. That was a stupid error by me. I deserve to go into the wall. I don't think I should use a flashback there. Yeah, that's pretty disappointing. I just knew that there was going to be a struggle as a curb there, but we've absolutely destroyed that car there. Yeah, we're retiring. Yep. So we actually finished 15th there, despite we just lapped so many cars there. Very weird race, but I mean, that is so disappointing. That may cost me a drive with a big team, and it's certainly not going to help me in the championship either. Oh man. So my second race on this difficulty has not gone according to plan at all. Well, how a championship and a race can turn on its head. We're now 2 points behind Kimi Raikkonen, down to 8th place, and the two McLarens once again aren't too far off. Felipe Massa is now 42 points ahead, so really that has been an absolute disaster. My first DNF of the season. Only the second time I've finished outside the points along with Catalunya. And it looked like we're heading for our signature fifth there, but sadly not. It's not. Oh, me and Sauber and McLaren joint on points in the constructors there as well. And there's 1 point separating the Mercedes and Red Bull, and also Sebastian Vettel leads the championship by 4 points. So it really is all hotting up in the championship now. A disappointing end to the race there. I didn't want to use my flashback. I only use my flashback if I get a BS penalty like I did in Silverstone. Maybe I should have used it in Canada, but well, that has been this race. It's a disappointing end, but I mean, there's always next time in Spa where I'll be quick. So thank you for watching, and until then,